Have you ever felt that eerie sensation when you're deep in the woods, as if something or someone is watching you? It's a feeling that strikes fear into anyone who ventures into the unknown. But what if it's not just your imagination? Tonight, we're diving into three terrifying true stories from the deep woods. And trust me, these will leave you questioning whether the wilderness is as innocent as it seems. But before we get into it, make sure you're comfortable. Turn off the lights, and let's go deep into the woods. You might want to keep a light nearby, just in case. These are not just urban legends. These are real, spine-chilling accounts that will haunt you long after the video ends. Viewer discretion is advised. From strange disappearances to eerie creatures lurking in the shadows, these stories will make you think twice before ever venturing into the woods again. Are you ready? Let's begin. Our first story takes us to the Great Smoky Mountains, located between Tennessee and North Carolina. This national park, known for its misty peaks and dense forests, attracts thousands of visitors each year. But beneath its beauty lies a darker side, a side few people ever get to experience, unless they're unlucky enough to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. In 2014, a group of hikers set out on a weekend trek. These weren't casual adventurers. These were experienced hikers, prepared with all the gear needed for a safe journey. They followed the marked trails, but what happened to them was anything but ordinary. On the second day of their trip, strange things began to happen. They heard odd sounds in the woods. First, just the wind. Then, whispers, not from the trees or animals, but from the direction they had just passed. They didn't think much of it at first, but as they ventured deeper, they began to feel watched. It was an unsettling feeling, one that doesn't fade, no matter how much you try to ignore it. Then, on the fourth day, the hikers simply vanished. The search efforts were massive, but nothing could explain it. Their tents were found, abandoned and undisturbed, their equipment still intact. But the hikers were gone, without a trace. Weeks passed, and strange reports started flooding in. People who had hiked near the same area claimed to hear whispers in the wind. Others saw strange, shadowy figures standing still, as if observing them. No one knew what had happened, but some believed the hikers never left the forest, that something in those woods had taken them. To this day, no one knows what happened to those hikers, and the Great Smoky Mountains remain a place of mystery and fear. What do you think happened to them? Was it an animal attack, or was there something darker at play? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But be careful. Maybe the woods are listening. Next, we head to the deserts of Arizona, where the land is dry, harsh, and filled with strange legends. One of the most terrifying being the skinwalker. These creatures are part of Navajo folklore, said to be witches who can shape-shift into animals. But what happens when one of them crosses paths with unsuspecting campers? A group of 4 friends decided to go camping in northern Arizona, far away from any town or city. They were well prepared and had heard the stories of the skinwalkers, but they never expected to encounter one themselves. But as the night fell, strange things began to happen. The first night, they heard footsteps outside their tent. It wasn't an animal. No animal walks that quietly. They tried to ignore it, thinking it was the wind or just their nerves. But then they heard something far worse, a low, menacing whistle. By the third night, one of the campers woke up to find a tall, dark figure standing outside their tent. It was unnaturally still, too tall, with a shape that looked like a man, but there was something off about it. They called out, but the figure didn't move until the camper stepped outside. Then it vanished into the darkness. The only sign it had been there was the cold, unnatural chill that filled the air. The next morning, they found strange claw marks all over the tent, marks that no animal could have made. Terrified, they left, but the feeling of being watched never left them. Some believe they encountered a skinwalker that night, a creature who roams the desert, waiting for the next unlucky soul to cross its path. Do you believe in skinwalkers? Or was this just a terrifying coincidence? Let me know in the comments. If you've ever had a strange encounter in the woods, I'd love to hear your story. Our final story takes us to Oregon, a place of lush forests and tranquil beauty, at least on the surface. In 1993, the Barlow family, parents and two children, decided to go camping in the Cascade Range. Little did they know, their trip would end in mystery. The family's car was found at the trailhead, but when search teams arrived, there was no sign of them. No footprints, no clues, just an abandoned campsite. Strangely, several weeks after their disappearance, other campers began reporting odd sightings, lights flickering in the woods, and whispers that seemed to come from the trees themselves. Some claimed to have heard footsteps, but when they turned around, no one was there. Despite a massive search effort, the Barlow family was never found. No remains, no signs of struggle, just the eerie sense that something or someone was watching. Theories abound, but the truth remains a mystery. What do you think happened to them? Was it an animal attack, or is there something more sinister at play? Comment below with your theories. And don't forget to hit that like button if you're still on the edge of your seat. If you enjoyed these spine-chilling tales, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more. We have plenty more terrifying true stories to share. Until next time, stay safe. And remember, don't go too deep into the woods, unless you're prepared to face what might be waiting for you. These three stories are just a glimpse into the strange, dark world that the deep woods can hold. Are the forests truly as peaceful as they seem, or do they hide something more terrifying? Next time you venture into the woods, remember these tales. The wilderness has a way of keeping its secrets. Sometimes it keeps them at a deadly cost. Thank you for watching.